Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fear and Loathing on the Planet of Kitson. And this really wasn't a good episode. I mean, there are some nice bits in it, but oh geez, I mean, I wasn't really bored, but it just showed a lot of structural kind of issues. Because we get to Kitson and we see that a lot of the budget has been used for the CGI, but we get into this casino and it is so fucking low budget that it's like a really bad Star Wars ripoff. Like, I'm talking if you saw a group of people who were doing their own kind of Star Wars stories, I would think that they would have sets on par with this. And it's just like, what? Okay, so that kind of drew me out, and it didn't. The storylines, I swear to God, this ending of this episode is so the plot demands it to happen more than anything. It's like, whatever. Oh, God. So, we open up and we see a dude mysteriously looking at pictures, and we see the Fitz and Enoch pop up. He gets his gun thing, and he does a cool thing. He's got this weird Xeno-like disc, and he gets into it, and he kind of gets teleported away. Now, not like a Star Trek teleporter, but he gets like sucked into the ring, and the ring flies off. Granted, that could present some problems depending upon if you're inside now you'd get out, but it was still a kind of cool effect. Everything else though was kind of just like, wow. Like the makeup and everything for like the aliens for what was going on in the bar was just like really low budget. Like I really didn't need to see that much CGI of the city at all. Really just put it more to the practical effects. I'm just like, ooh, what the hell? So we also see that Daisy and Co. are brought up to Nara Atsia, well, the place that Fitz was going to be going for the cryopod. And we've got this Pierce dude, the customs officer, who won't let him go because they've already docked and they're doing their thing. It's like, oh, all right, fine, cool. So, well, let's get into the convergence points first. We see Daisy and them dealing with this, and then we see Fitz and Enoch dealing with Kitson. They go through this whole thing where they're like looked over by this customs dude, but they of course bring up Fitz's name and all that because Gemma wanted to ask him about that. And gun dude's in there, but they capture him. He's like, okay, cool, because he didn't know about like Daisy being Quake and all that. It's like, holy shit. And of course, the customs dude gives him the lowdown on Kitson. I like that Piper brought up that you're pretty much describing Florida and how it's not like the Vegas lines, like whatever you get there, you'll burn and die kind of shit. It's like, all right. Daisy's reaction to that was pretty good. There's some good reactions to certain things, but then they go off to Kitson. Meanwhile, we see that Fitz and Enoch get on the Kitson. They got the crew off. They're pretty much trying to sell the snails, and the guys are like, "Hey, we're taking the ship and all that." And the snails are like, "Damn it!" It's like, "All right, we'll pay you with this chip." And of course, they offered Fitz a puff food thing, and Enoch's like, "Don't do that. It messes with your terran biology." So we're gonna have something with that. So they go off to gamble in the casino, and of course, since they're like, hey, there's no synthetic people allowed in this thing, you're thinking, oh, Enoch's going to get screwed, but evidently he can mask himself because of what he's like, and we see him talking to Fitz and all that, and saying that Fitz is his best friend, and Fitz doesn't say that at first, because all their situations are kind of becoming problems because of Enoch, but it's like, alright, let's see how this kind of works out. And it's like, Enoch, stupidly enough, orders these like really expensive drinks. He's like, we've only got one chip, dude. Let's kind of go and do some games of chance or whatnot. It's like, oh yeah, I know all these kinds of things because he's pretty much a robot. So they get in and they gamble on one part. We see this one dude pretty much working him as a mark. He's like, oh, okay. Enoch got a sizable amount of money. Fitz told him to get the hell out of there. But he's like, oh, alright, I'll do this, because the one dude pretty much said, this will kind of screw me, too rich for my blood. Enoch goes all in, he goes all in, and takes all their money. It's like, god damn it. Of course, Fitz is pissed off, and he's trying to figure out what to do. He's like, well, there's one that is pretty much down to mathematical probability that doesn't require bluffing, and they go into that one, and evidently you have to have yourself up as collateral, and if you lose, you become a slave, or you get killed, because we see this one dude get jacked up. So they come up with a plan that Enoch will do the calculations, he'll do this sound that only humans can hear, and telling them when to hit and when to fold. It's like, alright, cool enough. So they get set up for that. Meanwhile, we see that Daisy and co. pop up and they interrogate the two guys for information. This was actually a pretty good scene because it shows Daisy's new control, well, fine-tuned control over Quake powers, where she breaks the dude's fingers, individual fingers. He's like, oh, all right. They went to the casino and everything. They could also be in the brothels, because Enoch brought that up as a proposition that Fitz and Enoch should whore themselves out of a brothel to get the money to get off planet. And Fitz is like, brothels are not an option, god damn it. So they also get some of the puffs. Davis eats some, Daisy eats some, and Gemma eats some. Well, I wonder where this is going. So then it bumps up into kind of the three portions. We got Fitz messing around in the casino. We got Daisy and Gemma trying to go into the casino. We got Davis and Piper in the Zephyr. And, of course, Gemma, Daisy, and Davis are freaking out because of this stuff. And Davis had like 6 of them or whatnot. And we see that the bounty hunter dude is able to get out of the cuffs. I don't even know why he really hits Davis, because he's high as fucking shit at this point. And is like, oh, Piper went actually to get up animal crackers to kind of calm his ass down, because he's talking about giraffes. And sees that he's down there. They go on running, and he had gotten into the computer and was doing something, and he, of course, is able to escape in his little doohickey thing. This, of course, messes with Enoch. Enoch starts blasting out this loud sound, and, of course, he starts freaking out, so he can't give Fitz the instructions that he needs, but everyone's like, he's a synth, everybody stay where you're at, and he's like, well, everybody starts backing out. We see that this one dude was dead in a corner because he hit the wrong number in the gambling ring. That becomes important, and they keep Fitz locked up in there because he was with the synth dude. By this point, Daisy and Gemma had come in, and we see that it's kind of funny at first. It's like, Daisy like, I'm tripping balls, and the thing is, this sequence and joke are extended far beyond the length of time that it is funny. We see them messing around and being all crazy and kind of talking stupidly, and the thing is, it's really weird because Daisy's actress, instead of Daisy and Gemma don't act high. Now, I have never been high, so I'm not really one to talk. If I was an actor, I wouldn't know how the fuck to act high. But the thing is, they act more kind of stupid than high. I know there's a fine distinction and fine line that could be had between stupid and high, but I mean, Daisy's face looked like so fucking blank, even talking about, like, her old van and how Gemma and them used to call it the Fartmobile and all that. It's like, alright, fine. She's talking about how everything smells like cheese, and they, like, hide under a table for like 20 minutes because they're freaking tripping balls. But of course, by this point, we find out about the other Chronocoms, the hunters that have been sent after Enoch and Fitz. They come in. We get a pretty good action sequence where Daisy is kind of fighting them. Now, her fighting them while in a tripping ball state should have been a little bit better, but because she really didn't do anything wrong or tactically unsound while she was high. I mean, she had a little bit of fun, but I was expecting her to be missing punches or whatnot, or accidentally bringing the building down with her quake powers. That didn't happen. Granted, I understand budget and everything, but the set would have been pretty much paper mache anyway, and should have just been ripped apart. So she's able to deal with them. Gemma is trying to find out what's going on with Fitz because of the whole noise that they had heard with Enoch. And she tries, Then we get kind of another great interaction between her and the bouncer, and you're like, dude, you guys are high as shit. You had something weird, because you've been under that damn table for like 20 minutes. What the fuck's going on? And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you in and all that. It's like, what the hell? So we get in, and we see that Fitz is talking with Enoch. Enoch evidently tells him that the Hunter Chronocoms are being sent after him. He's been messing with stuff, so he's going to be decommissioned, and pretty much has his existential crisis, but of course, he's like, what the hell that's, Fitz also like, what the hell is that smell? It's like, oh, that's that kind of creature, kind of species. It's pretty much like 75% sulfur. It's like, okay. And then we get one of the funniest, freaky ass things I've seen. Fitz, while pretty much trying to, say that, Enoch is his best friend and all that, and really hammer that home, not executed in the best way this episode, he has ripped off the arm of the dude and is smearing essentially sulfur stuff on it and is going to try and get Enoch to pretty much blast the fucking door off. If it had been executed better, it would have been the most funny and hilarious shit possible. But since it's executed kind of poorly and weirdly, it's just more like, what? Okay. I don't really care that much about Enoch. I kind of want this shit to be over with. Granted, I kind of find it funny that we've got it to a point that there's a dead body in there and Fitz fucking took its arm off and is using it to essentially blow open a door. But if I don't find it that funny in the moment, as it should be, you need to work on your execution. But he's able to get through to Enoch. Enoch blasts the door open. Bouncer dude gets pooped on. Gemma sees Fitz is like, oh, Fitz. But that's when, of course, Bounty Hunter Gun Dude, the one that we've seen, pops up, grabs Fitz, teleports out. And Enoch's like, you shouldn't be here. And that's kind of where it ends. We also get an update with Sarge and the Jocko dude, and they're talking about like stars and everything. They finally use the machine. It butts up, and we just see all these lights and everything, and that's about it. I don't mind doing some mystery and teasing, but if you just show random shit, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to wait for that to be explained more in detail rather than be like, ooh, I wonder what's going on. It's more like, I don't know what's going on. Why is this important? It's just, the level of dialogue and narrative tightness is not in this season. And the dialogue for the people is taking a big hit too. Daisy, Simmons, Fitz, they are better than the dialogue they've been given. You kind of see them being their kind of characters, but it is not up to the par that it has usually been in past seasons. And I hope it tightens up, but this one's already in the can and they're already working on the other one, so I'm not really having any hope that any kind of improvement is going to be made for these. This seems really kind of weird and almost like they want to be done with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But these characters and these stories deserve better than this. So we'll kind of have to see what goes on since the Fitz storyline has been artificially lengthened, and I'm like, let's go back to the Sarge stuff. Expand that out more, do better dialogue, do better interdynamics between characters, and a tighter narrative, please. So we'll have to see what happens. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.